Back to life, back to reality, sunny UK. Been off for a while just because I had to figure out what's where, how, when in terms of my daily activities pretty much, and just changing my training. So I sucked any idea of having anyone else looking over me because it's just impossible to track what I do. And one of the reasons why I do things the way I do now is because most of guys I work with are business owners who are extremely busy and don't think they have time to kind of maximize their ability in the gym to actually get any results. So what they do is they go to the gym just to train for the sake of training, because people understand that, hey, it's good to be active, but it's no good if you don't have fun with it. So I'm adjusting all my training just to kind of supplement my needs this year, which is hell of a lot of traveling. Within last couple months I've been to Vegas, I've been to Bahamas, I'm going to Toronto in next 2 weeks, then I will be going to Mexico, and so on and so forth. So it's taxing. So first, ever since I believe just few weeks before going to Vegas, I stopped taking any supplements. My training was all over the place and I just had to reset everything that I do. So nutrition is slowly picking up now. I really have to emphasize intake of micronutrients big time. So I can't get away with eating crap anymore. Whereas before, if I was training every single day, really hard to bringing myself to failure as close as I can every single training session, then I could get away with eating pretty much garbage every single day if I wanted to. And my body would still respond in a positive way. It's not the case anymore. So to actually feel good, I need to eat well, I need to eat highly nutritious food, and I need to focus on micronutrients and, more importantly, fiber. Just because otherwise my stomach is all over the place and I just feel lethargic and drained. So as training goes now, so today we have it's 10th of July. We're gonna build from there. So 10th of July, I started my kind of reset a couple weeks ago, where I did a couple weeks where I was just doing supersets and giant sets and just getting my body through motions. Whereas now I'm more strategic about how I'm gonna train, because I have planned my training sessions around what I'm gonna do. I have picked something that's not too taxing already, and that I can recover from. To be clear, not too taxing means they're still hard, but they are not so glycogen dependent as hypertrophy training sessions are, where you literally finish a training session and you probably need a nap and hell of a lot of sugar just to get yourself back up to life. So that's not going to happen at the moment, because my training sessions will be more neurologically based, so high emphasis on choline and that kind of supplementation, which I'm lucky enough to know David Herrera, who hooked me up his choline and L-carnitine supplement, which is doing wonders, because a lot of my work is mental and it drains the hell out of me, and when you pepper it up with some strength training, which is neurologically based as well, not much progress can be made. So instead of taking alpha GPC, I'm just taking raw choline in its pure form, and I just feel great from that. So working on from this next few weeks, 8 weeks at least, I will be building up my strength endurance, building up my movement patterns. Then I might do a couple weeks overload phase. I'll see how it goes. But I'm slowly rebuilding my food as well. So ever since Vegas, I don't remember the date. When was it? I need to double check. But when I went there, ever since I haven't really eaten much, trained for hypertrophy and all those kind of things. Definitely haven't slept nowhere near enough good. So my weight dropped down massively. I lost around 12 kilos, which is gonna happen if you don't eat. You know, people who say, oh, I can't lose weight because I'm not eating enough. It's like, you just eat wrong stuff. I just recently had somebody messaging me, hey, my such and such coach put me on so low calories and I don't think it's working because I think I'm still eating too much. And I'm like, no, I saw you were out last weekend and eating probably kebabs and God knows what else. So you are lying to yourself. Anyway, so this week since Monday. I was 105 kilos on Monday. This is lightest I've been in years. I'm back to 110 already. This is Sunday, so it's like 6 days, just not even force feeding myself, just eating normal. So in next couple weeks, by end of next week, I'll probably will be 112, 114, maybe 115. And then we can start actually eating for size. So get to 120, maybe 125, maybe 130. We'll see how it goes, because size is definitely not anywhere near in list of importance at the moment. More important for me now is just to get moving right. This is a tricky part. So when I get to 120, what happens is my shoulders don't feel right anymore. So what I mean by that is I start to feel that it interferes with my sleeping patterns. So because biomechanically my shoulder joint is kind of so full, it pulls out the structure of my bones in different way. I can't train properly. It's not nice to train anymore. I just don't enjoy it anymore. I can't sleep properly anymore, and it feels like my mobility and the ability to do full range of motion movements is absolute trash when I get to that size. Another thing is, when I get to that size, I get used to it, and when I drop size from there, everything starts to ache, because my movements have been used to kind of bigger frame, so to speak. And when everything shrinks down again, even if it's like, I found that my kind of point of failure is around 116, 117 kilos. Anything above that is very uncomfortable. Anything below that is great. I feel like a lightweight. But if I spend too much time at around 120 kilos and then drop down to 115, all the movements I have done just don't feel the same anymore. This is why, to me, like, I'm definitely never going to push my body weight way too much up. But around 115, 117 kilos, I think it's kind of a sweet spot for me. And then if I can maintain kind of leanish physique at that weight, at my height, is more than enough for me to just feel good. For me, let's be honest, to feel good, I just need to feel fit and strong. How I look is just a byproduct of training hard and not eating like an asshole. So so checking up this week, I might go on some low TRT. I haven't decided yet what I'm actually going to do. I'm definitely not going to do anything drastic. I'm going to keep everything at minimal effective dose in terms of training, nutrition, supplements, and just build up from there, because forcing anything is just a stupid idea. I have done it before multiple times just to double check if it's good or not. It's not. It takes over your life. It becomes unbearable to even function. It becomes unbearable to actually enjoy what you're doing. So what is the point? Nobody's giving you bloody reward for getting somewhere earlier stage. It's just like, who cares? If you I could have done it in 28 years of age, and then you can't do it at 40. So yeah, why? It's like, what's the point? Unless you're a professional athlete and want to go to extremes, yeah, you go, you knock yourself out. But if you are doing just because you enjoy it, and then take that enjoyable part out by forcing yourself to get to somewhere you don't even necessarily feel like you need to be, just because you have this peer pressure that, hey, look at this and look at that, why are you not there? Like, who gives a shit? So yeah, goal is now to get my strengths back up to somewhat normal. I got injury from running in 2014 that derailed me from everything, because I went to the university after that injury. I never even realized how bad it impacted left on me, because I stopped doing deadlifts and squats just to reserve my energy for thinking. And 5 years later, I finished studying, got back into, hey, let's deadlift and squats the way I used to, and lo and behold, I can't, because some nerve was jammed in my hip. And that is over and done with. It led to other million things, like right shoulder was jammed because of my left hamstring, some kind of nerve entrapment, and then my left knee was aching. So all that is fixed, all that is good now. By the end of the year, let's see if I can get to 300 kilo deadlift. Anything above that will be amazing. Anything about 200 will be great as it is, because I haven't done it, and I don't really think it's any anywhere near as good of a movement as people make it out to be. Definitely for bodybuilding it's absolutely useless. It just takes so much energy out of you but it's fun. So, and like I said, my identity, I've never really identified myself as a bodybuilder. I'm like, I just lift weights and look good whilst I do that. So if I can win some bodybuilding shows alongside of it, yeah, cool. Other than that, I really don't care. So, but on that note, I'm gonna keep making these updates every week now. Again, let me know if you got any questions. Let me know if you want me to talk about any specific like training or nutrition or supplements or whatever the hell there is. But I'll keep this short, simple, and on that note, I'm cutting this video off, and I'll speak to you next week.